Here she is. The Democrats' rising star, Jasmine Crockett, is usually known for her expletive-filled tirades against President Trump.
The mofo that resides in the White House has unilaterally, in my estimation, declared war.
They understand that we have a Timo Hitler in the White House right now that thinks that he is going to become the dictator of the United States. Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that. Yes.
Wow, she's so tough. Well, now 3 former Crockett staffers are dropping a dime to the New York Post, dishing some dirt on how their, quote, diva boss refuses to come into the office. And when she does, it's only to scream at the employees. It turns out Crockett's got bigger ambitions than being a humble lawmaker. As one aide puts it, quote, she is focused almost exclusively on being an influencer, not a member of Congress. And Jazzy has some very specific demands for her personal chauffeur. The staffer is expected to stand outside the vehicle, which has to be an Escalade or similar upscale make, and open the door for her. But Crockett, of course, is denying all the allegations.
As Beyonce says, if they're not talking about you, then obviously you must not be doing anything. You know what? This is just more slander, more nonsense, more lies. And honestly, I don't think that the New York Post would probably be the first ones to be able to figure out if I was a boss from hell. There's a song that I like to quote every once in a while. It says, "Your hate is my motivation." So keep hating. All it does is motivate me to continue to do what I do, which is to be loud and proud on behalf of the American people.
Well, the New York Post figured out that that truly was a laptop from hell. So why wouldn't they be able to do their journalistic due diligence and figure out that Jasmine Crockett is the boss from hell, Greg?
I don't know how anybody could be surprised by that. She doesn't seem like someone who puts others first. You know, she is a fairly common politician. They enter politics not as an avenue for service, but for status, self-reward, and perks, like Joe Biden did. Except this is a little different because there's no accountability at all for her because she's a politician and a member of a protected class. No white Democrat would ever disagree with her. And so without guidance or standards, she gets worse. She ends up, when she does these tirades, she sounds like everyone in a TikTok video saying they're not going to pay for the entire meal at the restaurant because the bread that was brought to the table 2 hours ago is now cold.
Thank you, Greg. Well said. All right, so Harold, I'm looking at the story. She's got to have an Escalade. The staffer has to stand outside the vehicle like a driver, throwing fits, yelling at people, a total diva. Did you feel like you were reading your own biography here?
I think the problem with politics today is what this description of this young lady, I don't know if any of this is true, but I think so many politicians, and it's clear she's a big fan of using social media. I've been a complainer of where I think the state of politics is today. I think people are less problem solvers and want to be more pundits on TikTok and pundits on Instagram about things that are not really serious. We have a day in which the president looks like he's broken another peace agreement between two nations. He's trying, and I happen to think we got to stop coddling this thug, Putin. And we don't hear any of that on Instagram or TikTok from these people. Democrats, we've narrowed our political ideology to just attacking Trump and saying that he's awful, he's terrible. We use expletives. I don't understand all the cussing public. I cuss a lot in private. I might cuss when we get in commercial break. But I don't understand how, as a politician, that's a normal part of your narrative when you're out trying to express yourself and talk about issues that matter to your constituents. Ultimately, voters will have to decide if this is what they want.
But don't her voters love this?
Well, I mean,
can't you see her constituents like, yes, that's what I would do if I were in Congress?
Well, I think it goes both ways.
Got to be an Escalade.
I think Democrats and Republicans, I'm not going to name names of those on the other side of the aisle who I think are unserious as well. This is not serious. And that's why I think I'm somewhat of a dinosaur when it comes to politics today, because I actually think you should get elected to office at whatever level you are and actually try to solve problems, which is when Shannon made the comment earlier about reaching across the aisle. I just want to get things done. Yeah. And I don't get the sense, to Greg's point, that many of these people in Congress today, that's not their foremost objective.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.